Okay, stage 2, fat. Let's talk about it. See some jiggle, belly. You can see his bottom lip moving around, back of his neck. It's the fat. Go back to the muscle. See some jiggle. So this muscle cache is what's going to be driving the fat. The fat is going to be connected to this muscle. There we go. So going into the fat. So there's our muscle. And right now that's merging with the other pieces here. So we have this proxy head geo. We also have his hands and his feet. So this is what's going to act as a collider or a geometry that the fat could attach to. So starting with our test geometry again from Capybara with skin selected, we have a peak to slightly make him smaller. So this is going to be used, so this is the render geo, this is the skin, but the fat is underneath that skin layer, so it shrinks a little bit. And then to create our proxy geo, blast some pieces, delta mush, remesh to make our tets, tet conform. I think that closes the back there, so you can see it's open, and then tet conform closes that. And then, so this is just static, but we want that motion again. So we have our tet geometry, the joint deform, so we have that motion, time shift. So we're using this point deform, so we could take our proxy geos here of the head and the hands and the feet, and point deform is like a Maya wrap where you're snapping it to this animation position. So I could template this. So you can see it's following where that animation should be. And what this is going to do is, without this, there's nothing for the fat to grab onto. So the fat would sim and just completely fall off of his face. But since we put this proxy geo here, the fat could anchor to that head. So it'll still be simmed, but it at least has a base. It won't be completely loose. So going the other way, turn the template off. So that's going to be just like the muscles. We're going to use a vellum attached to connect all of that together. So this is going to be our, what's going to drive our fat. So going back to the fat creation, we have the peak to make it look slightly smaller, delta mush to even smooth it out more, create our tets, tet conform, and then we have this tet stretch vellum constraint. And here you could adjust the density if you want to preserve the volume. And so I could sim it without the vellum attached, so you could get the idea. I think you'd know what's going to happen here. Oh, on the wrong frame. 30. So yeah, I think you know this guy's gonna just completely fall. I don't have a ground collider in there, but yeah, he's just gonna fall. So we really need to have this vellum attach. So he's gonna snap. Vellum attach to geometry. Just a stiffness of 1. Put a scale on there so you could do 0.5 or 0 if you want to turn it off. So you can see these are the points attaching to this. So then you can see at start pose we get some nice jiggle in the shoulder area. And the head is still stem, but it's pretty stiff compared to completely falling off. So I guess we could show you what it's like without that head there. So see if I just turn off this guy, I think. Or I could turn that on and just yoink. So muscles are there. So let's see, we should see a lot looser head now. Yep. So, oh, and his legs too. So it's kind of cool looking, but not gonna do it. So bring that head back in. So it's just the head proxy that's using this point to form, following the animation, but separate from that is our sim that we're not modifying. And then we're just combining those. So it's a mix of the muscle sim and head animation. In this case, that's fine. And then also the feet. So much better. We're just using sub-step of 1. And simming pretty quick. And then we have another point to form. Let's see here. So we're just going back from our TET geometry to our rendered geometry, and that's point to form to our sim. So it's not going to be as dynamic one-to-one, but should be a cleaner result. There we go. So that's pretty good, and we still get some face jiggle, which is good around the face. You could see mouth. And this time shift, we just do it on frame 1 for our point to form, and then we cache it out with our naming convention. And to this turntable, I could show you at the end, but it's basically just one transform with an animated rotate on the Y, and then we could just copy and paste this transform into all of our stages, and that's just for rendering. so the cache doesn't have that transform on it. So that's fat. And next step is skin. So muscle, fat, and you can see the skin is going to be slightly on top of this geo. Boink. So higher res. So we want this higher res geometry if you want to get more finer folds and wrinkles, especially in this neck area. So next is stage 3 skin.